Coming up this week on Unpicked, the toilet seat tongue twister. Listen, you know it's not going to be a good night if the photographer comes up to you in the rave. If the photographer comes up to you, bruv, go home. Take the picture, go home. For any black person in that sphere, not that it makes it right, but you should know if you're going to go on a show like that, you're going to open yourself up to the negativity of the British public. Wagwan peeps, it's Venom, what you saying? Alongside my home slice, damn me to the zane. When she and I get together on the poddy, ask anybody, the vibes are insane.
Join our family and feel free to come by. Be on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yeah.
New drop on the way every Monday at 6.
Tune in and come see what we unpick. So this is it's a trip down memory lane, I guess, for you. Because my question this week is, what's your favorite Christmas gift that you've ever received that you can remember?
I don't know.
Is there no it doesn't necessarily have to be a gift if there's like a memory that you're like, oh man, that's the best thing that ever happened at Christmas.
I
just assumed it might be a gift, but it might not.
My best memory from Christmas makes me seem like a fatty bum bum.
I already know where this is going, but yeah, go on. Please do tell.
When we were younger, my dad's brother used to come, we used to alternate between celebrating Christmas at my house or my dad's brother's house. Mm-hmm. So me and one of my cousins, we're 1 year apart, so we're like tight, yeah. Mm-hmm. And this year it was our house that was hosting Christmas, and Mum did the whole 9: turkey, there was chicken, there was lamb, there was all the trimmings. It's a Nigerian house, so jollof was there, fried rice was there, everything was there. Mm-hmm. And everyone's eaten and gone to the living room, because we used to have in our old house, we had a kitchen and dining room joined in one, and then the living room was separate. So everyone's gone to the living room, and me and my cousin decided to go back in the kitchen.
And put hands in the pot.
Hola. So we were gisting. So for the non-Africans, that means we were gossiping, right? So we were talking, chatting, gisting, and you know when you're talking and you're just nitpicking.
Wow.
So we started nitpicking the turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Nitpicking the turkey, just
nom nom nom.
Nom, nom. Before you know it, did we not eat the whole turkey?
Lola.
It was a joint venture. So
she said, "I'm taking you down for a joint enterprise." You know.
So when my mum came back in the kitchen to get let's serve your uncle seconds, she said, "Why is there a carcass? Where's the turkey?" And we were like, "Oh, it's finished."
Mad.
Because we were talking so much, we didn't even clock. We didn't register how much of the turkey we were eating.
You were just eating anyhow.
We were just picking it until, where's the turkey? Oh, we actually finished it. My bad.
And that's your best memory.
That's the first one that comes to my mind. It's the one that gets retold every year. Whenever we had, there was do you remember that time when Dammy ate all the turkey? Oh, yeah. From childhood, that's the one I remember first.
Well,
me and my cousin, we used to get up to mischief together. You see, we were like 5 and 6. You see one, you see the other one.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we're not troublemakers anymore, because we're grown women now. But at every family function, they're like, yeah, if you're going to see one of them, you're going to see the other one. That's just how we roll. That's how you roll.
Okay.
But yeah, that gisting was sweet. I couldn't tell you what we were gisting about because we were very young. We were like,
I know, like, what is the convo so deep that you gotta eat a whole turkey? And
we must have been like between the age of 10 and no, maybe between the age of 9, 8, 9 and like 12.
I was
Between
gonna
that,
say 8. Yeah, for some reason
I
gonna
don't
say
know.
8.
I don't know what we were talking about, but the gist was sweet because the whole turkey
Gone.
gone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Shout out Cuzzo.
Shout out the Turkey Gang. T-Town.
Shout out Cuzzo. Love you long time. Get it. Gang.
Mad.
I know that. Yeah, man.
Mad. Okay. Is there playlist thing?
Yes. So I'm gonna pick a song from Division. And I'm gonna pick from their first project.
Okay.
I'm picking. You see, this is how you know I'm still deciding because as I'm saying it, I'm like, what song do I want to choose?
Do you want a couple seconds
there?
longer? Because I just realized we didn't even do the hello hi. It give you by a little more
so
time.
we could cut it.
Yeah, if you want, or you can not. We could just do the intro. Give you some time to nail down one. I mean, it's not like you can't do the other one literally the next week.
Because I was gonna do another Daniel Caesar song from the same album originally.
Mm-hmm. And what's wrong with that?
Okay. I ain't gonna do Division this week. You lot have to wait because I still gotta decide which one from the album I want to choose. Instead, I'm gonna choose again Daniel Caesar, same album, but this time I'm gonna choose Open Up. Yeah, it's Open Up. That's what it's called.
You have shown me that I don't know his songs by name. I'd put the album on and press play. I don't know what these songs are.
It starts bum 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 bum.
This is the album with her, the song with her. Yeah, this is not bringing no memory, boy.
Is her on the album? Brandy's on the album.
No, maybe this is the second, or maybe this is not the album I'm thinking of.
It's one not the album you're thinking. It is the one that's got the blue.
This is the only Brandy's one I listen to.
Brandy's in the album. He's also got Frontal Lobe music. It's a Neptune's one because it's got the free
start
count, the free count start.
This ain't bringing no memories. Even this Neptune's talk that you're talking, or did I just really not even clock?
Give it inside. Do you know why I like that? Do you know what it is? Yeah,
that's not Daniel Caesar.
It's on that. Yeah, it's on the album. It's on the album. Yeah.
Is that?
Never give it inside.
Hey.
Never give it inside.
That's a Daniel Caesar song. Everyone sees you. What?
Yeah. That's Frontal Lobe music, I think it's called. But it's on the album. The thing is, with me and Daniel Caesar, that album's my favourite album that he ever did. So if I was gonna pick songs of his, not that I have to, but if I had to, it would be from that album.
And what song did you say it was called?
Open Up is the first one that I said.
Okay, no, I don't think it's the same album. I'm talking.
I don't think hers on that album.
Yeah, I'm talking about Freudian.
Yeah, that's a different album.
Yeah.
On the album I'm talking about, Brandy is on it. I believe the first song on the album was Encore. I think the album's even called
Entropy.
Encore.
It's Case Study. That album is the one.
Oh, Case Study, that's the one. Yeah. Case Study, that's the name of the album. I don't know the names of albums. Even as much as I love, my homeboy, I couldn't tell you the names of his albums.
Oh, that's fair.
But I know what the covers are and I know what songs are on there, but I'm really bad with names of albums. I'm not good with that.
I think I need to check this one because I don't.
And I'm bad with names of songs as well.
Only now. And I think DJ made it worse because You end up seeing so many, just like, yeah, whatever.
I might as well put frontal lobe music on there as well as Open Up, because those are my three. What did I put last week? I put Cyanide. Those are my three favorite songs on that album. So I might as well drop all three. Drop them.
Drop it like it's hot. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm dropping a Cleo Soul thing. Have
Okay.
you put any Cleo Soul on here?
No.
Okay. So then When I'm in Your Arms is the song I'm going to put on there.
Okay.
Because it's smooth.
As we're recording now, have I put the ones that we said last week on Spotify? No.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Terrible.
Hey, hello, hi, guys. It's Venom from the Unpicked Podcast, alongside my home slice, the one and only Dami Zane. We're here on this lovely December warm day to bring you the good news about our sister Nella Rose. Today is a Nella Rose special, and we hope you
Not a special.
Yeah, we said a special
hell.
last time. It's a Nella Rose special. We hope you are here to enjoy as we deep dive and unpick everything Nella Rose in the jungle.
I hear it, but I'd still have a Have You Seen, so I'm going to drop the Have You Seen first. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Have you heard about Disco Pum Pum?
Disco Pum Pum.
Have you heard about it? Have you heard that phrase?
I've not heard that phrase.
It's not. I
do know what
it's not disco. It's not Disco Pum Pum. It's disco something else. Mm-hmm. But obviously, you know that I call that something else, Pums or Pum Pum.
No, I think I know what you're talking about. If it's a one brother taking the reins from another brother and trying to lead that march into the future of
yes,
what brothers
he took the
can
baton.
Do. Yeah.
He took the baton. Wow, we're bad. We're so bad.
I forgot about it, but now you reminded me. Yes, I do know what it is.
Okay, let me tell the people them about it. Yeah, so basically, some guy went to some sort of function. I don't know, it was a rave, a club, a disco, who knows? But he was there, and we don't know if he was under the influence or not. I'm guessing he was, because I don't understand this behavior. In the toilets, he found himself in the toilets with a woman doing stuff. Mm-hmm. And whoever recorded bare different angles, bare different videos, and the videos went viral. There was fingers involved. There was tongues involved. On the toilet seat, it was a Mazzoline. Mm-hmm. And they're now coining this scenario, this situation, disco puss. Mm-hmm. Disco puss. So that's what started. After it went viral, people were doing forensics. Yep. Because people clocked that the girl's got a ring on. Someone said that he's got a girl as well. Mm. And then the next day, it was alleged, that the lady in the video who was receiving
the blessings, the bathtub, the bathroom blessings,
the obchunk, yeah. The oral pleasures. She supposedly reported the incident to the police, stating that she was under the influence, implying she didn't consent to such extracurricular activities, but also that she didn't consent to being recorded,
of course,
on video as well. And I said, there ain't no way I ain't gonna talk about this on the podcast. Venom, over to you.
The toilet seat tongue twister. It's a wild one. I covered the original, the OG, the man who started this thing. I covered.
What was his name again?
I'm not even trying to bring it back. I don't want to bring it back. He has lived out his sentence. He's lived
10
it out.
years. Literally 10 years.
He's lived it out. Yeah.
10 years.
I want to absolve him. And I think this brother did too. I don't know his name though, but yeah, my man came, grabbed the baton. It's a weird one, isn't it? Like, I guess she, I don't know the situation like deep in it, but from what it looks like, she got caught slipping. And she didn't really want to be out there like that. So her fastest defense was, all right, let me say that, you know what I mean? I didn't know what was going on and I didn't consent to this, that, and the next. You know what I mean? It sounds like a plausible gut reaction to try save yourself, but it's definitely when you see the videos and that. And I haven't seen the videos. I just seen the pictures. I didn't need to see more. But you can see very much people are fully engaged and enjoying. And
the people that have seen the video were saying to me, because I've spoken to like a couple of people about it already. And the two people that have seen the video said to me that she was being the director of the show. That's how they said it. She was directing.
Yeah, because she said, don't do this, more of
that. Because he asked her to
if you could
perform.
Do, if you go in.
He told her to perform Upchunk. Yeah. And I'm just realizing some of our new people won't know what Upchunk is. Upchunk is oral sex, yeah? So he asked her to perform Upchunk on him, and apparently she was like, nah. You gotta do me first. She said, me first. You did to me first.
That's a wild one. And he said, okay, hands and knees in the toilet.
The thing is, there was a range of videos. We don't know what order the videos are in. So my understanding is that one of the videos is him doing the tongue twister on the toilet seat. Another video is him asking her to either return the favor or to do it first. And she's like, no, you did it to me. I don't know what the third video is, but there's apparently it's different angles as well. Whoever recorded it did like
top this
up
side,
top, sideways,
underneath.
I'm like, how horny do you have to be for you to not clock that someone else is there? Do you get it? Like, I hear it. Some people can't resist and they go to the toilet and do the business. They do what they got to do. I'm not even going to judge on that as long as you're all consenting adults. I don't really care. But it's the fact that you're so horny. This is toilet stalls where someone can look on top of you like this. You tell him you didn't hear the side of the thing move,
rattling
or
and all that.
You didn't hear something and go, what's going on? Do you know what I mean?
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt with regards to knowing people are watching them, because I've definitely been in a position where I'm intoxicated enough that I actually didn't really care. So it's not that I'm not aware. It's just that everything that's outside of me and this person, it
could never be me.
I mean, I would never do that.
If I was ever in a situation where I couldn't wait to get home, it would have to be disabled toilets.
Oh yeah. So you can actually
not them.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Right?
I would not do it in a toilet.
I wouldn't do it in a toilet. I wouldn't. I'm just saying, if it's that peak and you have to, it's like right now we've got to get it
and there's
on.
There's different like functions you can use in a disabled toilets, you know, because they got the arm bar that comes down.
Is it really? I wouldn't know. Okay.
The disabled toilets.
Okay,
bro.
interesting. Right. Yeah, okay. Cool. Right. Well, that's where I would go. So that it's just us in there. Because most disabled toilets, it's just one toilet, right? There's no sharing, nothing. Not cubicle, where more time the top is anyone can hop over and over or under. Do you know what I mean?
That's what alcohol does, though, man. You lose your inhibitions. You lose your sense.
It's the fact that I'm so sure the way she was sitting from the pictures I've seen, because she's sitting on the toilet seat.
Like on the edge of it.
Yeah, and then he had tongue and fingers, right? Trying not to demonstrate.
Mm-hmm. Even though
he had tongue of... he was in there. He was in there. He was doing with the fingers and all this business. He had to have had his head in the toilet bowl to perform like that.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
What edge? She's on the back edge. I thought when I said the edge, I meant the front edge. Like she's sitting on the.
She was sitting. No, she was sitting on the. She was sitting on the toilet. My
chin is like in the.
And her leg was up like this. Like at one point, I think she even had him in a headlock with the leg. She had it up like this, and he was in there.
That's wild. That is wild.
His head. I'm pretty sure his chin would have touched the toilet bowl. 100%. At least his chin would have grazed it.
Nah.
Or something.
Nah, no way. That is a major L. City Boys down.
Man.
10 points.
It was the fact that they caught a picture of him earlier in the night. Sitting down low.
That's the same thing that happened to my man from back in the day, though. Looking suave. Listen, you know it's not going to be a good night if the photographer comes up to you in the rave. If the photographer comes up to you, bruv, go home. Take the picture, go home. Because now the evidence is there. These people are like, yeah, I got the picture. Let me live it up. Mistakes, boy. I used to always want the photographer to catch me, you know, so I could be on Facebook like having a good time. Hey, nah, I've learned.
So you wanted to do a promo? You wanted to do promo, guy?
Yeah, I've learned. These might get caught slipping in HD.
The thing is, it's one of two things. Either don't let the photographer take a picture, or if they take your picture, don't do nothing mad.
Go home.
Don't do no. You can still enjoy the dance. Just don't take no risk, don't do nothing crazy, because people will see the promo picture and be like, oh, that has to be him because my guy was wearing and you're wearing.
Nah.
Forensics.
There's a curse in that lens. When it flashes, pow, the curse, just go home. If they like, yeah, group up. Yeah, I'm out, guys. Nice. It's been nice. Take it easy, yeah? Peace, I'm out. Before, nah. No way.
I definitely agree. I definitely think that she caught slipping and thought, let me do damage control, make it seem like that's 100%. If she actually has reported anything.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's wrong that people recorded it and then posted it on
100%,
socials.
100%.
I think that is wrong. That is wrong. And then for people to be like reposting it and sharing it on and stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
First of all, that's against the law.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But like, if it was me, if I went to a dance and I went to the toilets, and I've been to functions, been to the toilets, and heard someone getting banged.
Yeah.
In there. Yeah.
Mad.
It happens. Do you know I went to carnival? Seen things, yeah. Carnival in daylight, seen things. Wireless.
Mad.
In 2016 was a Mazzoline. I remember I saw things. I saw things. Yeah, 100%. But I didn't think, yeah. I mean, I guess back then, social media was there, but no one was hungry for viral like that.
Mm.
No, but that's not true, because people took pictures of my guy 10 years ago.
Yeah, but they weren't hungry for viral. They just put the pieces together. That just happened, and then they were like, yo, that's my man. Man said his name in the video, and people were like, wait, who? And then everyone just did, and they said, her and him? Wait a minute, there's that pic. Yeah. That one was organic. That one was organic. That was organic. But that one was funny because them two took a picture together earlier in the night. And then next thing you see train stations. The entrance, the staircase and the stairs. I'll never forget that. Do you know why it's etched in my brain forever? Because every New Year's, they bring him back. The picture comes back out. I can't. Every New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. This year, I pray they switch him with my man. I beg. No, you can't, because no. Do you know why? I don't think they will? Because no. I don't think they will, because my guy, he's New Year's Eve guy. It was on New Year's Eve.
Whereas this one, it's not New Year's Eve, innit?
It's just a regular
So
Friday.
the act is similar, but it's on any Friday. Whereas New Year's Eve, it's the message is always the same. Don't be that guy. And then they bring his picture out. Like, enjoy New Year's Eve and crossover, but don't be that guy. That's why they always bring the picture out. So I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to replace.
You know, man's like literally not going to have a girlfriend or like a wife. Like, everyone knows.
Who? The old guy?
Yeah, the original.
I want to know where he is. Because when I saw this one...
You wanted his commentary.
I thought...
He said, yo, what do you think about this? Please.
I wanted to hear... I was thinking... Honestly, if you want to come on the show...
Mad.
No, I was thinking, where is he now?
That's what I mean.
I was thinking, what's his mental health saying?
He can't be far enough, and it's got to be in tatters on a level because
every year, like
every
clockwork.
New Year's trauma. Some people have Christmas trauma, but he has New Year's trauma
for the last 10 years. I wonder how old he is now. He must be like
yeah, he's
around our age.
He's at least 30.
Between
at least.
At least.
Yeah,
okay,
at
so
least.
more your
Yeah.
Your lot. Yeah.
35 at the absolute lowest. But yeah, he was like, when I met him, he was definitely giving my kind of age. He was giving age mate.
Oh, you met him?
I used to work with him. Not like, oh yeah, we're brethren, but he was working in my workplace. So basically, I already knew he was like an interesting character, to say the least. And then he was, I think he was a Christmas temp.
Interesting in what way?
You know, just some people when you work with them, you're like, oh, that was a bit interesting, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean. That's why I said interesting in what way.
How can I put it, man? I'm trying my best.
Was he quirky?
Disrespectful.
Quirky?
Not quirky, but just when people, you know, like some people, they seem like super regular, and then you're either like into them or you're not. So you either become friends or you don't, but they're just the same as everyone else, you know what I mean? And then some people, they're just a little bit like, I don't know, there's something to them and you're like,
Do you mean different?
I mean a little different.
He was a bit, you get some people that their way of thinking.
I wouldn't say thinking because I didn't know him like to know his thoughts.
What I'm trying to say is like some of the things they come out with or some of the things that they do, you're just like,
exactly that.
That's not the norm.
Yeah, but on a very,
I don't know if I want to say not the norm.
Yeah, on a very,
I get. I think I know. Okay. I understand. Because I worked with someone like that as well.
Yeah.
Like their behavior was a bit like they're cool.
Yeah,
but it was like
100% blessed.
It was just like different at the same time. They were cool but different at the same time.
Okay.
And so everybody else, like, they're the kind of person that would say something and everyone would side-eye like...
Yeah, exactly that.
Why would you... Yeah.
And I was just like, interesting. And,
so you must have thought, oh, I'm not surprised.
No, I wasn't surprised. But I was surprised at how far. Because the work scenario was very interesting because I worked in women's wear. So I was around a lot of women. So it was... So even though I used to make friends with the guys on menswear, obviously it was a bit of a different social dynamic because I had access to more of the girls. So like, I know what the girls like, what they like about the guys and what they don't. So then I'm seeing certain people and I'm like, oh yeah, you'd be good on a night out like with us lot. But I saw him, I was like, interesting. Maybe I won't like extend this social because I'm, you know what I mean? It's not by force.
You must have been like, wow, my intuition when you found out.
It wasn't intuition. I just said interesting. Yeah, that's all. Because I know what the girls are like. The girls are fickle. They're super lovely, but like you can't like misstep in it. They're not forgiving where I was working. So I was like, it's not worth.
Most women are like that.
Yeah, it's not worthwhile. So I just thought, okay, cool. But yeah.
You know what's funny? I remember. See, Original. Mm-hmm. When I first heard about the story, I remember being like, I don't want to say horrified, maybe mortified.
Mm.
Because I was like, wait a minute, I know people like to do stuff in public, but that public, the stairs, you know.
The stairs
I
was
said,
just bait.
I'm sorry. Now that I remember that one is still the OG. Like, that's the worst one. At least these lot went to the toilet.
They tried.
These lot went to they tried to keep it on the low.
It's
Let's
only
do our
camera
thing.
person that messed up the whole...
That one didn't know how to mind their damn business.
But to be fair, you can't be in that toilet. You're gonna see my man's creps sticking out the bottom of the toilet. See, like you can't like just ignore it.
Yeah, but this is what I was saying before I went somewhere else. I've been to many public places and heard people banging, seen people banging, and I just
mad.
My business. Do you know what I'm saying? But with my guy OG, you can't mind your business when people are walking up and down the stairs.
You're actually trying to get up the stairs,
and you're right there. You didn't even try to be private. You didn't even make it. You didn't even make it to another location where you could do your thing privately and maybe get caught.
Nah.
Here you said everybody will see. We don't care. That was real. I don't give a heck. I'm that horny.
That's what alcohol does, man. That's what it be doing.
I've been drunk before then.
Nah.
I've ever been
there's a certain type of way it can hit you. I've been hit in certain ways where the risk it all started to creep in. I said,
I've been risk it all. I've not been that risk. I don't think you understand. On the stairs.
No. On the stairs is wild. But sometimes you think you can get away with it. Like you rationalize in your head, this is gonna be mad quick. Like no one's coming out because it's New Year's and and we're just gonna quick.
Toilet, cool. Not that I would do it, but toilet that makes sense.
Yeah,
Let's do a quick thing and come in, come out. The stairs.
No, but okay. So
there's no quiet moment.
Wait, David. This is the part you got.
At the entry stairs. I don't care.
Realize, is he or she convinced the other? It's not just like he was there doing it to himself. He also convinced someone else that this is quick. No one will know.
I know.
Quick.
I know.
That's how risk it all. It was risk it all enough to convince another. If he was by himself, if he was like having a, you know what I mean, shaking one out by himself, I'd be like, man, wow, that's mad. But I could understand, like, you know what? You was by yourself and you thought you could get away with it. Okay. No, he convinced someone else. Take a seat.
You know how people go viral for things, yeah? The first thing that comes to my mind is if I ever went viral for anything embarrassing, not because you know me, guys, I like to talk in it. Like I'm always saying my mind online. I don't mind going viral for sharing my opinion on something. I don't mind that because that's my opinion. But things like doing stuff outside and someone else takes my picture or video and I go viral for that. The first thing that I always think of is if that happened to me, I know that I would be like, that's it, my market is ruined.
100%. That's what I'm saying. My man can't have... Do you know why as well? I say, because what he did, as in the action, it's not that deep. But the way in which he did it and the timing... He
was really deep in there, I have to say. So
it's like, he'll be the last Bocat before it's okay, if you know what I mean.
Are you talking about original?
Yeah,
or
original.
New guy?
Original.
Oh, I thought you were talking about New Guy.
No, New Guy.
Because New Guy was like, really in there. He was
live it down because I think everyone's so nasty now. I don't think they'll care. But original is
that will never ever die.
Last Bocat before it was he's the last guy that did it when it was a crime. That was illegal when he did it. That's the last criminal. After that, we actually legalized it. It's fine.
It was only a crime to the man them because the girls knew that all of you that was singing no way was flipping lying.
Yeah, no, I know. But what I'm saying, it wasn't cool to be like that.
It's still not cool to be like that.
I think someone could replicate exactly what he did this New Year.
No,
and no one would even
they can't. Care. No, they will care because my guy did it in the toilet.
No, I mean,
they cared.
But that's toilet is brand new. And I didn't realize his head was all hovering in the bowl to...
No, it must have been. I'm saying I didn't say it was because I didn't see it. I'm saying it must...
not necessarily
Because
touching the water.
Because she was
but
sitting.
I mean, even the bowl just being around, even if you're not touching
Yeah,
anything,
because she was.
That's wild.
Yeah, because she was sitting. Yeah, because she was sitting on it, the toilet, like as if she's on it to
not
to
even
do
the
something.
seat down, the
And
seat up.
I don't know if the seat was up or down, but I just know she was sitting on it, and her leg was up like this,
Mad
and
thing.
he was in there, and he was.
Mad.
That's why I said That's why I said his chin, 100%. His chin would have touched the toilet seat. Facts.
That's mad.
Oh Lord.
That's mad. Because never.
It's disgusting. I don't care how hungry I am. We need to get out of here.
No.
Let me call the Uber.
I ain't doing that.
We need to get out of here. Let me call the Uber. Because that's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Damn.
I've seen some things, but that is...
You know what? I'm trying to think of like how, like, what have I done in a moment of desperation? I think...
What, you mean Horn's desperation?
Yeah, as in like trying to get to somewhere. And I think...
You can never pay me enough money.
No, I went home, but I
to
think
reveal,
I jumped on a rickshaw.
Anything like that.
I think I jumped on the rickshaw. You know that man that drive the thing? I think I jumped on that with the girl just so we can get to the station so we can get gone. Like, I was like, yo, like, we need to be moving. Walking is not fast enough. I think so. Because I never ride them rickshaw things, you know. But I was like,
you was hungry.
Come here, ASAP. Take me to the station.
Hungry. You was hungry. Say no more. Wow.
I've never got into them things.
I will never share any of those type of stories on this podcast. You will never get a story like that out of me. Sorry.
I'm a human, yeah, man.
I got stories, but I ain't share. That's none of your damn business.
Yeah.
Nella Rose?
Yeah, let's do it. Nella Rose. Wow. Nella Rose in the jungle.
I don't watch.
Start with her. Yeah, I don't watch that.
I'll start it off. Yeah, I don't watch I'm a Celebrity.
I don't watch that thing.
I don't watch I'm a Celebrity. I draw the line with reality TV at Love Island. After that, I watch like things like Selling Sunset and stuff like that on Netflix. But that's not. It's not time sensitive in my opinion. Love Island is my only one where I'm like, every night I will be watching Love Island so that I can tweet about it because that's what I do, right? That's my guilty pleasure. Everything else, I ain't got time for it. Like Married at First Sight, I'm a Celebrity, all that, I ain't got time for it. It's too many. There's too many and it's too much. But when I heard that Nella was going to go on there, I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. I was happy for her because I've been following Nella. Okay, let me go back before we start giving our opinions. Let me tell people what's been going on because we've got international listeners and not everyone would know. So Nella Rose is a UK YouTuber. A bit of context about her: she's from Congolese. She's Congolese. She's not from Congolese. She's Congolese. Grew up in North London, but was originally from Belgium. So she's an immigrant. When she was younger, she lost her mum. So she was, her and her brother lived alone, basically, growing up. She went to uni, and when she got to uni, she started doing YouTube. And she started doing YouTube videos about uni life, with her friends, bringing her friends in as well. Those videos were popular, they went viral, and that's where her career as a content creator started. From being a content creator, she's now an actual TV personality. She's done other shows. Fair enough, they're not on the mainstream channels in terms of like ITV, BBC, but she's been on Channel 4 on a show. She's worked very closely with BET UK. She's worked very closely with Foot Asylum as well.
Yeah, that's why.
So, and she does a show currently called The Pink Court. It's kind of like Judge Judy, but a UK black version, younger demographic version of the show, mainly aimed at dating in the UK or in London. So she's created a name for herself. If you were going to think of OG UK YouTubers, content creators who've gone further than YouTube, who've taken their career off of YouTube, away from wig and hair reviews and beauty reviews on YouTube to being on TV and becoming a personality, Nella is one of those people, right? She's an OG. Most of the people in the content creating space know her, especially if you're Black. They know her and we love her, right? Most of us don't not like Nella. She's just that person. She's almost like a treasure at this point in that community, right? So she landed or was offered an opportunity to go on a reality TV show called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. The premise of the show is that they get a group of celebrities, not A-listers, to be honest, and they put them on an island, or no, not island, they put them in a jungle, not me thinking of Love Island. They put them in a jungle in Australia for a certain amount of days or weeks, and they have to do, people vote for certain individuals to do challenges. The challenges are very gruesome. We're talking things like eating an animal's balls or having to collect stars from a box full of, I don't know, snakes. That's kind of stuff. Really like, ew, like bugs, that kind of gruesome stuff. And Nella was the only Black person in the cast this year. I would say she was also one of the youngest. She's 26, I believe.
Youngest. Yeah, I don't know if she was,
she's 26.
But she definitely was, one of them, for sure.
Yeah, she's 26. Another thing I forgot to mention is that during pandemic time, she lost her dad, and she's very close to her dad. So she's actually, I don't know if you can call an adult an orphan, but if you can't call him an orphan, that's basically what she is. She doesn't have her parents. Her majority of her family are in Belgium, not here, apart from her brother. So, yeah. And that's one of the other things that people find endearing about her, the fact that she's so hardworking, despite the things that she's lost along the way, right? So, from very early on in the show, people didn't like Nella. I didn't watch it, but you know, if you've been listening to the show listening to our podcast, you know that I'm pretty much always on Twitter. And from the very first night that she was there, a certain demographic started making comments about Nella. They didn't like Nella because Nella is loud, right? And this is what I like about Congolese people from my experience. They're very flamboyant. They tend to have big personalities, a lot of banter, and I relate to that because as a Nigerian Yoruba babe who we are also deemed as loud and, I quite like that they're like that. So she's very like, and banterful and, colourful personality. That's what made her YouTube blow. Yeah. That's what's made her blow in her career, right? So she came on the show being herself and people just didn't like it. They were like, it's too much, she's too loud, she's too this, she's too that. And that was from the first night, right? Then I think second or third night, she had an altercation with an older French chap called Fred. On the show. The nation love Fred. I don't know what Fred does. No offense, but I reckon
the First Dates. Is it First Dates? He's from a show where people, I think, they go on a blind date, something like that, and he's the concierge person. So he welcomes the guests in, takes them to the bar, and then sits them at the table, and then they get on with it. So he literally is just a nice person who kind of just welcomes people to this date scenario, and then they get on with it.
Right. Okay. Well, I didn't know who he was, and the thing is, just real quick, I know a lot of people don't know who Nella is. Do you get it? So this is just so you can see that different demographics probably don't know who most of these people are. Yeah. There's only a few of them that I know and recognize. Like there's some girl from EastEnders, there's some guy from Made in Chelsea. Is it Made in Chelsea he's from, or Only Way is Essex? I can't remember. But he's on one of the other reality TV shows that my mum watches, so I've seen him before and stuff like that. So it's very like, not celebs, but they're still in that space, right? But anyway, Fred was in charge of the food that week. So he was cooking, kitchen duty. And I don't know the ins and outs of what had happened, but basically Nella asked him a question about his sight, about him being able to see something in the dark. He said he can't see because he's getting older now. He's an older man. She asks if he wears contacts or glasses. He's like, he answers with his age or whatever. And then he goes, I'm basically old enough to be your dad, right? That's what he said. She goes, what? Or something like that. So he repeats it. And then from there, she goes quiet. Then the next day, he's all calling her name, trying to say hi to her. She ignores him outright, ignores him. He keeps trying to initiate conversation with her. She continues to ignore him. And she refuses to eat the breakfast. She refuses to eat the food because he cooked it. Then one of the other guys is like, Nella, you're not going to eat? She's like, no, I'm not interested. That's when he comes over and goes, you're not going to eat the food I gave you, kind of thing. She's like, no, you're a weirdo. He's like, whoa, why? She's like, I don't like what you said. You know what you said. Did the whole altercation thing. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to eat your food. I think it's best we don't talk to each other. All that stuff. Yeah. Off the back of that reaction to what he said, the UK public said, we don't like Nella. We hate Nella. And from there, that's where the hatred started. People were going for her size because she's overweight or she's plus size. I don't want to say overweight. She's plus size. So people were calling her fat, saying that she deserves to not eat. She needs to not eat because she needs to lose weight. People were going for her personality. People were saying, oh, no wonder her parents passed away with her attitude. Like they couldn't wait to get away from her. Like all sorts of things were said. And people were then purposefully voting her in to do the challenges because the challenges are very, very, very like...
Yeah, like not nice. Yeah.
They're not nice. So people were voting for her to do them because they didn't like her. And then they didn't like the fact that she couldn't complete the challenges because she didn't enjoy the challenges, obviously. So that became an issue. People wanted her to leave the jungle. People were hoping she would go first. She didn't go first. She came out second. And yeah, that's pretty much it, really. That's an overview
of what
a lot has happened, but that's an overview of what's happened. She also had a conversation with Nigel Farage.
Yeah.
Again, just quickly, Nigel Farage used to be a MP on what's it? UKIP. What was UKIP?
UKIP? I can't even remember what party
he was. UKIP. Was he? Yeah, he was UKIP. Like and UKIP wanted to reduce immigration. They wanted Britain to be Britain again. Does it sound familiar? That's basically what they were about. Then later on, he was heavily involved in Brexit, which again, he was able to reiterate his same ideologies about immigration and, you know, how there's too many immigrants in the UK, blah, 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 tighten the immigration laws, blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, he doesn't have good rep for a lot of people. Most people that support or follow Labour, for example, don't support or like Nigel Farage. So the conversations that she had a conversation with Nigel about immigrants, and he explained that, well, you know, we don't have the funding in the UK to support immigrants. And she turned around and said, no, talking about the NHS, she was like, it's not the immigrants that's causing problems with the NHS. It's the funding that's causing problems with the NHS, right? She also made a comment about how Black people don't like Nigel Farage.
Yeah.
he mentioned that he's from South or he goes to South.
He
She's
said
like,
black
why are you
people
in
love
South
me.
London? Black people love me. I go to South all the time. She's like, why are you in South, Nigel? Because, you know, we spoke about this before. South London is highly populated by black people. So from there, a certain demographic started calling her racist. It's just been a lot. A lot has happened. But the three main catalysts was she was loud in the beginning. Her personality is very flamboyant and loud. Then it was the altercation with Fred, and then it was the telling Nigel Farage that black people don't like him.
Right, yeah.
Those are the three main problems. There was a fourth one, but I'm not going to go into it. But those were the three main ones.
Oh, I don't even think I know the fourth. I might know if you said
there was a fourth one. Yeah, there was a fourth one to do with someone who is, I think they're neurodivergent, and they're very like high energy. And she made a comment about how she wants them to be more zen around her. And she tried to ask them to be zen, and people didn't like that.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so from my lens, the Nella situation was an unfortunate but obvious. It was very obvious in the beginning. So from when she got announced, before she even reached the jungle, from when she got announced, I saw the negativity starting. But for any black person in that sphere, not that it makes it right, but you should know if you're going to go on a show like that, you're going to open yourself up to the negativity of the the negativity of the British public, because that's what the British public is like. That's what Ofcom deals with on a regular basis. Phone calls about this, that, and the next. So I was under no illusion that she was going to receive some kind of negative commentary, because she is plus size. She is a YouTuber, not a TV celebrity. So she is an unknown as well. She's not come via the conventional route. Like, even if she wasn't black, someone being a YouTuber is always going to stir some kind of negative. It's
going to stir some problems.
Emotion in people who are used to fame or success or whatever, coming from more traditional means that we already know. So I was under no illusion that she would be on the back foot going in. However, her actions as soon as she got in did not help her in the slightest. And so I don't ever go online and partake in these conversations, because to me, I know one, it's just a conversation. So if it's for your entertainment, but you're not going to change anyone's opinion. So if you want to be involved for the entertainment factor. But yeah, I really liked Nella on like the Foot Asylum stuff, is where I know her from, with Chunks and Philly and and Harry.
Yeah.
In that context, she works really well. And I think that's for two reasons. I think that those guys in themselves, that energy is somewhere where she can slot in and out seamlessly. And also it's YouTube, so it's very tailored to the kind of personality that she brings. Whereas TV is a completely different beast, and I honestly don't know if her / her management team / her agents, whoever arranges, even really considered what that would mean for her brand, because I feel like she did her brand absolutely this has taken her steps back, I
don't think so.
I do. And in all honesty, because not only has she gone in front of the British public and not necessarily misrepresented herself, but represented herself in such a way where she is hated by the British public in a general sense. But she's
the comments have changed, by the way, because she's out. This is why I'm saying that I don't agree with that, because I thought that, but since she's been out, it's like they've done a 360.
Yeah, but that's what British public is like. I don't the reason why I don't that.
And the big brands that supported her still support her now.
Oh, I don't think
so. It's not really.
But I don't think any.
So I don't think it's changing. It doesn't change. And another thing is, this is her brand. So the way she showed herself, is Nella being Nella. So it doesn't change. It doesn't harm her brand at all.
I don't actually.
It's her being her, and It is the same. The reason why I say that is because Nella is very, like, she's very, like, you know, London baddie, you know, that aesthetic, and you know how they talk? That's what Nella did. And that's how she portrayed herself in the jungle. And my thing is, how do I want to put this? I actually said it in a voice note to my friend, and I wish I could remember how I said it, because the way I said it, she was like, "Oh my God, fire. Wow." Basically, what I was saying was, the way Nella spoke to Fred that day, because, you know, like her loudness and stuff, that's her. That's how she's always been.
Yeah,
that's Nella. That's how she behaves. You see how she got offended and how she dealt with that? That's also very Nella, because we've seen Nella make videos about African aunties and attack them and have the same persona in the way that she did it. The reason why it didn't work for the show is because she hasn't learned how to code switch, one, and she doesn't know how to tailor that same personality for different audiences. What Nella did was, she came to I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here with her YouTube personality. That is her brand. That's why I'm saying it's no different to what she's always been like. That is Nella. That's how she is. That's the brand. That's how she's behaved from when she did her first YouTube video to all the way till whatever. And that's why I don't think it harms her brand per se, because the people that already bought into that will continue to buy into that. They have.
No, that's
right.
Yeah,
and they still, and they're the ones that supported her. They were the ones that were like, we don't like what, you know, other brands came out, PLT came out, BET came out and supported her during the hatred by the like Daily Mail and stuff like that. So I don't think it's going to harm her bag. I don't think it's going to harm her brand, because her brands have stayed the same. But what I do think is that if she's hoping to expand her visibility to more than just the community that already support her, right? She's going to struggle unless she learns how to code switch. Now, I can only talk about this from the stance of working in corporate. When I first went into the big bad world of the finance industry at the age of 21, 22, coming from, I mean, I grew up mainly in Essex, but I still kept my North London girl, North-East London girl vibes, yeah. I came with that mentality into the world of work, yeah. It doesn't work, because a lot of other communities, they don't find our community palatable. So we have to learn how to convey ourselves, like how to convey things and how to portray ourselves in a more palatable light. And that's what Nella needs to learn how to do. So, for example, when she had that altercation with Fred, if Fred was Philly or Harry Pinero or one of them lot, and she said, "You're weird, bro. You're weird," the way she did it, it would have been cool between them. They would have got it. They would have got that she's not actually really insulting them. She's communicating how people in North London communicate when they're having an altercation. It's not that deep. But because you've got a French guy who's older than her, and then you've got Nella who's trying to talk to him like she's talking to one of her boys when she's upset, it looks way worse. That's what I think. She was definitely rude. I can't talk to someone at work in the way that I would maybe talk to you if I was annoyed with you, is what I'm saying. Because I know we have an understanding. We've got the East London thing. So if I was to say certain things to you with a certain dialect, with a certain tone, it's still rude, but it's not as bad. But if I said it to Sally from down the way, it's going to look more aggressive. It's going to look more out of place because it's like, whoa. So I think that's what happened with Nella. I think with Nella, she just doesn't know how to mold her same personality into a way that is palatable for all demographics to understand and not blow it out of proportion. Because when I watched that video, I thought, yeah, Nella, like, you're overreacting, you've misunderstood him. Yeah, definitely. But when she started saying, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to eat your food, you're a weirdo, I immediately thought, you're talking like you're talking to someone from Ends, and he's not from Ends, and you're on TV. So it looks weird. It looks worse than what it really is because of that. If it was like I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. Like if it was I
hear what you're saying.
If they were a group of people from Ends and that conversation had happened between two people from Ends and the whole jungle was people from Ends, it wouldn't have looked that bad. It's because she's in a space where she's around people that are not like her, who don't understand that way of talking. They don't understand that she's upset, but it's not aggressive. She's not being aggressive. She's not being threatening. She's just standing her ground, but she's doing it in a way like you would do if you was talking to your boys.
No, I hear that. I don't.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I never thought she was. I'm sure you've seen commentary as to why you're saying about aggressive. I never thought of her as being aggressive. I just felt like she handled that really immaturely. And I'm saying that
she did.
Based on me comparing her to her, like as in what I know of her from the Foot Lockers and from the other things that she's done.
I wouldn't say she's mature.
No, I wouldn't say she's super mature.
I never would have said.
But what I'm saying is that she handled that incredibly immaturely. So it wasn't. I don't think that the negative emotion or commentary or whatnot that was garnered after that from people who are outside of the Black community or who don't subscribe to her on YouTube, I don't think that if everyone was, if their cast was Harry and Chunks and them, man, I don't think it would change because the whole thing was an overreaction and it was borderline narcissistic because of how she approached the altercation. And
I wouldn't use the word narcissistic. I think that's a reach.
Borderline.
It's even borderline. That's a reach.
Borderline, it's my opinion, so it can't be a reach.
It is your opinion. Yeah. An opinion can be a reach. So I do think it's a reach. But I think that, given the meaning of the word narcissist, I think that here, and this is something that it's so hard not to like reply. I'm finding it really hard not to reply to things when I see things now on this topic. People that have never been in that situation are talking about it as if they know what they would do if they were in that situation. That's what's irritating me. So no one has ever been put on in a jungle, live streamed with people you don't know in a country far away from home where you know anybody, where you're put in high pressured scenarios day in, day out, hardly any food, like there's no comforts or anything, no phone, nothing, right? None of us have done that before, right? And then if you add on top of that, I don't even want to go into she's lost her dad recently, that is still a fresh wound, she's lost her mum a long time ago. I don't even want to go into that. Just the experience of I'm a celebrity, get me out of here is a very particular scenario that no one has ever experienced, right? A lot of these people are probably acting out of character or doing things that are a bit weird. Like the same Fred that these lot were defending, very shortly after, he had an altercation with another woman and straight away they don't like him now because he said something rude to someone else. So I'm saying all that to say that you see this scenario of how she behaved and how she reacted. People are forgetting the scenario that she's in. They're forgetting the environment she's in and the scenario that she's in. I spoke about being at work. If I'm at work where I've left my home, whether I've had a smooth journey into work or not, or whatever, sometimes work can be pressurizing, but it's still not as pressurizing as that situation. So I've still got time for someone to say something to me and for me to think about it logically and before I react. Whereas I feel like in that sort of scenario, it's a different ball game. I don't know how I would react if I had misunderstood something and took offense. I can't guarantee that I would react in a way that made sense to my character or that made sense. If you get what I'm trying to say, I can't guarantee that I would behave the same way that I would on a normal day to day. Because it's a very high pressured situation that they're in. It's completely different to your normal day-to-day rational, logical thought process. And when she came out, both her and Fred said the same thing. They both said that, listen, whilst you're in there, the way that things are in there, it's very easy for you to misunderstand something or to blow something out of proportion or to act completely off or to not rationalize something properly because of the situation that you're put in at the time whilst you're in there. And then when you come out, you're like, rah, it's not that deep. I shouldn't have acted like that. But of course you're going to think like that because now you're in a different reality, right? So for me, I think that 100%, as someone looking from the outside in, her behavior to Fred specifically was not acceptable. I think that and that goes back to my point, if she knew how to code switch or be more flexible with her personality, I think that for me, that's what I think. Like for me, I know that if someone disrespects me and we're from the same community and we're not in a professional setting, it's not going to harm my bag. I know how I will talk to you. But if I'm at work and you disrespect me the same way, I'm going to code switch. I'm going to be flexible in the way that I do it. I might still be, I know that I could be very stern. I'll still be stern, but I'm not going to do it in the same way. And that's the point I'm trying to make. She's allowed to misunderstand. She's human. She's allowed to be offended. She's human. But she needed to know how to be palatable to the wider audience. And as a black person, you need to know how to do that. The best way that she could have dealt with that is she's upset, she's offended, cool. The next day, he comes to talk to you. You say, listen, Fred, I'm offended by what you said to me last night. This is what I got from what you said. He gets to explain himself. Then you say, okay, cool. She's allowed to say she doesn't want to talk to him. She's allowed to say she doesn't want to eat his food. So she'll just be like, you know what? I hear you. I accept your apology. But I think I'm still in my feelings about this. I'm still offended. So I think that it's best that we just, stay out of each other's way for now. End of discussion. But all that, you're a weirdo, is too much. So she still could have done the same thing. No, but if she had toned it down, it would have been different.
I think when you're saying code switching, though, I don't think that those two things are the same in different codes. If you understand what I'm saying, I don't think that they're equivalent to the same thing, but with a switched code. I think that
what do you mean?
I think that what you just gave as your example of what she should have done. Could have done is just a more mature approach. I think what she did wouldn't have equated to the same outcome if she was talking to someone from ends. I think
maturity, but being mature doesn't mean that you can't be angry or aggressive or
you can be
loud
angry,
or call people. You can be mature as a person and still call someone a weirdo. That doesn't mean that you're immature.
Of course.
So that's why I'm saying that she could have dealt with it in a way whereby she's toned it down. She's toned down the North Londoner. Just tone it down. Like, when I talk to you on this podcast, sometimes you hear the ends come out. When I go to work, I've had people from work listen to my podcast, but like, it doesn't even sound like you because the way that you're speaking is different. Yeah, because on my podcast, this is for my community. So I'll speak how I like and they'll understand it. At work, I will convey the same message, but I'll convey it in a different way. That's not maturity. That's code switching. That's making myself flexible and palatable depending on the audience that is in front of me. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to sit here and police how she felt And I'm not going to police how she interpreted what he said. She's allowed to interpret it however way she wants to interpret it. And she did. She's human, just like me, just like you, just like everybody else. That's fine. But what I will critique is the way in which she conveyed her grievance. And I'm saying she shouldn't have spoken to Fred like she was talking to someone from Ends. Because that's what she did. She should have spoken to him like she's talking to a 50-something-year-old man from France, right? And that means you still have your grievance, you're still upset, you still think he's a weirdo, whatever you want to say, but don't say it like that. Just be like, listen, I'm offended. This is what I'm offended by. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that it means that she's being fake. I'm not saying that it raises her blackness or anything like that. No. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, you have to be flexible when you're dealing with members of the public or you're dealing with people from all different walks of life, different types of cultures. You need to learn how to make yourself palatable for each of them, because as much as we want everyone to just accept everyone, this is the real world. Yeah, it's all lovely, airy fairy, expecting people to just accept you for who you are. That's crap. That's crap. Exactly, you have to sometimes. It doesn't work like that. So you have to make yourself palatable to everybody. The dummy that you see on here is not the dummy that you see in corporate. But the essence and foundations of my personality is the same. I can be stern when I need to be stern, and I can be soft when I need to be soft. If I need to say something, if I need to put someone in their place, I know how to do it in a way where it's not like, oh, she's aggressive. Or she's being rude. Again, do you get what I'm saying? And but I know that in ends, our preset in ends, because you know how it is in ends.
Yeah.
The preset is feisty. It's street.
I see. I
still you can't bring street.
I still think it's different.
You can't bring street arguing onto live TV where people watch Coronation Street and think that they're gonna be like
understanding of you, or
she's just airing that she's upset. People were saying that she's aggressive, that people were like she was being aggressive on TV. I was like, no, she's not being aggressive, she was being rude, but she wasn't aggressive.
Definitely.
But to them
it was rude though.
But to them,
but you know what my thing is?
It was very rude. But to them it was aggressive.
My thing is that forgetting the ends part and forgetting the race part, I'm just looking at, because to me it speaks to character, and I'm just looking at his age. That's all I'm taking into consideration. It's just his age. That's who.
But on that,
she's
already. But she's always shown that she doesn't care about age. That's what I'm saying. That earlier you was like, oh, it's not what you've seen of her, and I'm telling you, as someone who's watched even before, that is very Nella. Like I remember there was a video she did one time where she was talking about African aunties, and you know how African aunties like to goad younger women. When you gonna marry? When you gonna have kids? Oh, you've gained weight. She did a whole video roasting them. That is very on brand. She doesn't care about age.
Yeah.
That shows you that whole, they're older than you, have respect. She doesn't, that's Nella.
She's used to operating in a space that is actually focused around her. i.e. the YouTubes, the whatnot. And this is I'm not sure if it is, but this is her first moment in the real world with people who don't care about YouTube, don't care. We're just normal people operating in the real world, and that's where she's found herself in some sticky situations, because she's dealing with people who are not subscribed to her ideologies, not subscribed to her personality. That's why it's been a very rough ride.
It's not the first time though.
I'm not saying it's the first time. I'm saying it's the first time for a lot of people to experience her in the context
not her first
of the
time.
real world.
It's not her first time doing a show whereby it doesn't revolve in terms of her own YouTube channel or anything like that. It's not the first time. And it's not the first time where she's only working with people who are like her, as in just in the YouTube space. However, the reason why I made the reference to ITV and Coronation Street is, you see, that's why I said at the start, it's her first time on this size of platform. She's done stuff with, I think, Channel 4 before, or Channel 5. But no, I mean, who really watches that? Comparing Channel 4 to Channel 3, ITV, or to BBC One, it's not comparable. So I'm a Celebrity gets a lot of viewership in comparison to the shows that she would have done before. So her reach here is bigger. And a lot of these people didn't know who she was because they've not seen her anywhere else. Because the demographic that watches ITV is way bigger than a demographic that watches Channel 4, for example. Channel 4 is very aligned with our demographic.
Yeah. It's a space that we can slot in and out of quite easily.
Yeah, it's very linked to our demographic, whereas ITV is like, it's outside. There's a reason why, you know, when we watch the TV on those channels, yeah, and you look at the black people on those channels, how many of them use slang and stuff like that and talk in that way? Most of them talk in a way that is palatable to white people. Most of them. Yeah. And when you see when you see people that talk that way, they're normally in the music industry. And even in the music industry, they tone it down. When they go to interviews and stuff, they tone it down. When you listen to radio hosts and stuff like that, how many of them even talk like, and I'm talking about the radio shows that are more far reaching, not the local ones.
Like your One Extras.
Listen to how they talk.
Yeah,
they still convey their personality. They just do it in such a way that it's like, oh,
everyone can understand me.
Everybody can understand me, and no one's gonna find me overbearing, obnoxious, rude, aggressive. They can't use those words for me because I'm talking in a certain way. I'm pretty sure most of those people, when they're with their own people, they switch it. And they're more free and they don't have to think about those things. They're just like, I can say it how I want to say it and it's going to be received correctly. They're not going to misunderstand me. A lot of people misunderstood Nella in that. And the reason why I think that is definitely because I've seen a lot of reviews and a lot of commentary from people from different places. And people that talk like Nella understood Nella. They were supporting her. They were like, it wasn't even that deep, man. If she spoke to one of her boys like that, it wouldn't even be a problem. But because she's talking to, and that's what stuck out to me. The fact that people that talk like Nella, the ones that I saw that did commentary about her behavior, they didn't see anything wrong with what she said and how she said it. They were like, listen, basically. Obvious. Yeah, because they understand her. Whereas if she had done it in a way, if she had conveyed her grievances in a way that was more palatable, she just wouldn't have had that problem. People would have been annoyed and got over it. It wouldn't have gone her whole time that she was there. People were hating her. And now it became anything she said.
But people were ready to hate her anyway. She just gave them ample ammunition.
Because she didn't think about it. She wasn't prepared
at all
for a show like that. She wasn't prepared for a show like that.
That's the most obvious thing about her experience there is you can see that whoever and however that came to be, the experience must have been overlooked as being something simpler or less impactful or whatever. But the due diligence was definitely not done.
It wasn't there. Even the way she spoke to Nigel, Farage. Yeah, even the way she spoke to Nigel Farage, because Nigel Farage was an MP. He is highly educated.
Highly.
He knows how to...
and linguistics.
He knows
this. He can tie you under a bus in a second. If
he knows... Yeah, exactly. When it comes to linguistics, when it comes to debate, when it comes to... conveying...
That's literally his profession.
His opinion, he knows how to do that in a very articulate way. So if you're talking to him and you're talking like you're from ends, if you know what I mean, not even to be rude, but you're talking like very quickly, the juxtaposition between the two ways of talking becomes very apparent. Yeah. And very quickly, you start to sound like you have no clue what you're talking about, even though she had valid points.
Yeah. But not only that...
She sounded She had valid points, but she sounded, because of the way that she conveyed it and the way that he can speak, it made it seem like, girl, what are you talking about?
It's that, and also it made it seem like, you know what, maybe he ain't wrong, because
Exactly.
you're validating his points even though you've not done much, because the one thing you have done is defy the standard of, okay, this is the level of conversation I'm having, so I'm going to approach it with this much intelligibility because it's required, because we're talking about something important. It wasn't done.
Exactly. And that's why I'm saying she needs to learn how to make herself palatable, depending on, she needs to be flexible with how she speaks and how she conveys herself, depending on who she's in front of. Like, I know I can talk like I'm from ends. I talk like I'm from ends all the time. If I was in front of Nigel Farage, corporate Dammy is coming out. Law degree Dammy is coming out. Because there's no way. Like, I need to make sure that what I said is understood, and I need to make sure I sound like I know what I'm talking about as well. I can't come to you talking in a certain dialect and expect that it's going to come off correctly. He was making valid points, fair enough. He ain't changed his rhetoric, it's the same. But because of the like I said, the juxtaposition between the two of them, and of course, it just made it seem like what he's saying made more sense than what she was saying, even though she wasn't wrong. Nothing she said was wrong. The NHS is underfunded. And she also said, she goes to him, I reckon if you looked at your doctor's probably an Asian person. The nurses in the hospitals are black people. She's not wrong, but because of the way that it was, because she didn't, and it's sad because I don't like the idea of like people having to pander to a certain demographic to be heard and understood. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
No, I mean, but you have to look at it in two ways as well, because when you say things like code switching and pandering, we also have to take into account that English is taught in a very specific way, and then we choose to use it in another way. And it's not, to me, it's not pandering. It's just using it the way it's taught.
I agree.
And I feel Nella is very, in this, I can't even say her, but in this show, or this view of her, this experience of Nella has been very, I've got one gear. She didn't show I've got levels. Like I can ride with the best of them.
That's what I'm trying to say, Venom. That's what I'm trying to say. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. If I need to speak to people in Hackney, the youth in Hackney, I know how I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say for them to hear what I've got to say. But if I need to speak to the CEO of a bank, I know what I need to say and how I need to say it to get them to hear what I need to say. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say about Nella. She needed to learn how to be Nella, but give different versions of Nella depending on where she's at. Different,
I think
different versions of herself.
Into her team and how much her team must do to.
They didn't prepare her. They didn't prepare her at
in general,
all.
like negotiating the various things that she may have, because obviously these conversations would have had to been had with someone. Do you know what I mean? But
the thing is, like, she there's a show that she used to do where she used to go with Harry Panero, where she used to go and try different experiences, is how best way for me to put it. And she might, for example, she went on a ski trip and learned how to ski. She went to like an orchestra thing. She went to ballet. Like she's seen things in it, like cultured stuff, if you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, not just end stuff, not just for asylum black people. Like, no, I don't want to say black people. Not like she's seen stuff that people from higher esteem have gone
moving like
to
she's
see.
Working
she's
class.
moved.
That's what she's moving like.
Thank you very much. And so what I'm trying to say to you is, because you made a comment about her team and what opportunities her team might have put her on before.
Mm-hmm.
She's had opportunities where she's mixed with people of a higher class before.
Mm-hmm.
She's done shows where, even in those shows, she was still the same Nella that we saw on I'm a Celebrity. This is why I'm saying, as someone that has seen Nella's career go from in the kitchen at uni on YouTube to I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here. Nella just needs to learn how to be her. Be the same Congolese girl from Belgium who moved to the UK when she was a child. Be the same Nella Rose, but just showcase it in different ways depending on who your audience is. That's what she needs to learn how to do.
Yeah.
Because once she's learned how to do that...
Yeah, because she's a likable character. She's got the qualities that can sustain her.
Because she's a lovely person.
That via her YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it is actually as well? Is I think that she approached that show probably the way she's approached every other show before this point, where she's been known, and it's like it's got her audience already there, if you know what I mean, or people already understand her. And I think that was a mistake that they made.
I didn't like the racism after the fact, because that was definitely racism and fatphobia.
Yeah, so I didn't really see the comments after the fact. Well, I didn't dive into any comment section because I knew it was going to be, but I did see that on her Instagram, and I don't know if it was like that before, but I know it's like that now, like Drake's, where you can't comment on the post, like it's limited comments, probably for like...
That's right.
You know, like verified friends and whatever, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I know,
because people started going on her posts and saying stuff.
Hella hate on them posts, hella. But I knew that from
she got
the
a
second
lot.
I watched that interaction. I didn't need to see how it progressed. I saw because they made up. Do you know what I mean? But I didn't need to see how it progressed.
But it wasn't just Nella that got hate. You know, so Nella got hate, but anyone that was perceived to be supporting her got hate.
Oh yeah.
So you know that I've started posting on my TikTok a lot more now. TikTok's my platform now, and I did a video. So weird. My timing, honestly, the day of the altercation with Fred. Earlier in the day, before that episode aired, I saw a tweet where someone said, "Oh, Nella's not even been in there for 5 minutes and I find her very annoying. She's loud." And a white person responded, "She's a UK beast." I don't know if you've heard the phrase UK beast.
Yeah, no,
before.
So I haven't. And you mentioned this before, but I had...
So I will explain it. So there's a bit of debate about where the phrase originated from. I'll give you the two stories as what I've heard. The first one is a content creator was out in France and he did this, you know, when they go around to people and then they film it and whatever. He was going around to girls and offering them a lollipop.
Right.
So he'll have the lollipop in his hand, close his hand like this, and then he'll do this and they'll see it's a lollipop and they'll take it. And each of the girls had different style. So they didn't all look the same. They were all polite, soft, feminine women. And someone commented on that and was like, "Rah, the girls in France are different, not like these beasts in the UK."
Calm. I know the video you're talking about, but I didn't realize that.
Cool. Yeah. So that's that. Another potential origin story for the phrase UK beast is, you know, Lani's show, UK Badders? Someone said, they're not UK badders, they're more like UK beasts.
I think I did see that comment too.
So now, with that being said, my understanding was it was the latter that created UK beast, because they actually said UK beast, right? Apparently people are saying no, it was the former. But anyway, someone referred to Nella as a UK beast. The reason why this irritated me is because for weeks before Nella had gone onto I'm a Celebrity, on TikTok, we were seeing more and more black men calling dark-skinned women UK beasts and how they prefer lighter-skinned women or snow bunnies over black women, the UK beasts, right? So where I've seen, and that was it it became the rhetoric for UKB. UK Beast that started off being about all types of demographics was now solely being used repeatedly for dark-skinned black women in the UK, right? To the point where there were a few, I would say there was 2 male black guy content creators who did videos saying, guys, I've noticed you lot are calling black women UK beasts. You need to stop that. Yeah. So that's the context. So that day I saw this tweet, saw a white person was now calling a black woman UK beast, and I took to my TikTok. And the premise of my TikTok is like, it's like Unpicked on speed. I will see something, I will have an opinion, and I will share my opinion on my TikTok. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, that's your own damn problem. It's my platform. Okay. So I went on there and I was like, yeah, black guys in the UK, you lot need to do better, you know, because can you imagine? You lot have been calling black women UK beasts up and down. Now we've got white men calling black women UK beasts. It's not acceptable. Yeah? Do better. Of course, we had the black guys saying, you're right. We need to do better with that. We shouldn't have done that. Then you had the black guys who were like, why are you blaming black men? Not understanding the message, which is fundamentally, watch how you talk about each other in front of other demographics because they're going to use it against us. Anyone with a brain would understand that. But anyway, they were arguing with me. Then we had white guys calling me UK beast on my own post. The timing couldn't have been any better because that evening was when that episode with Nella and Fred came out. Bearing in mind in my video, I mentioned that I saw someone call Nella Rose a UK beast. So I woke up the next day to comments, but she is a UK beast. Did you see what she did to Fred? Did you see what she did to Fred? She's a UK beast. So I did another video to reply to one of those comments, basically saying what I'm saying now, which is, okay, let me explain to you what I meant in my video for those that struggle to understand. As black people, we need to be careful how we speak to each other on social platforms. We shouldn't be calling each other degrading stuff because it opens other races to call us those things. And then that does become a racial problem. Put that aside. In regards to Nella Rose, 2 things can be true at once. Because back then people were arguing about whether she was grieving or not. And you can't police people's grief, blah, 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 versus was she rude? I said, yeah, you can't police people's grief because I've never lost one parent, let alone 2. So I don't know. I don't understand. To me, I can say it's not triggering, but I don't know. It could be. But at the same time, she was rude and she could have dealt with it differently. All people heard was me saying that black men are causing racism to black women because white people are calling us UK beasts. And that I said that Nella Rose was grieving. That's all people heard from my video. Here comes the racist coming for me. Oh, you're a racist actually because you're blindly following a black girl. You're not even understanding what happened. Actually, you're a UK beast because you come from ends. You talk like you come from South London. I don't come from South London. All sorts of stuff. And I was just like, just because you don't like Nella Rose doesn't mean you should come for me. If you'd listen to what I said, I've already held her accountable. And yeah, if white people are now calling black women UK beasts, that is racist. That is racial. So let's not do that. Let's just cut that out. And then I started looking at other people's posts and other like Twitter and stuff like that. And I noticed any black girl that seemed to be supporting Nella, they were under her post calling her UK beast, calling her a racist, all sorts of things. So it got to the point where this was like a few days before my birthday. I think it was on a Tuesday and my birthday was on a Thursday. By my birthday, I had to turn off all social media because it was too much. It was like, as a black woman, I don't need to see people en masse calling another black woman names or black women names, let alone myself. I didn't ask to be black. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like us, but you don't need to, it doesn't need to turn into you insulting us because you don't like how someone behaved on TV. That's too much. And then I didn't like the fat phobic comments as well. Like, obviously, I believe people should try and be fit and all that. Like, I have my thoughts about that. I'm not fat phobic, but I do have my thoughts on that. But just because you don't like someone doesn't mean that you should start cussing their physical appearance or calling them anything degrading. Like, it's just too much. And it got overwhelming for me. So I just said, I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it, stuff like that. So for me, that was a lot. I don't like how that became the situation. You don't have to like a character on TV. It doesn't mean that it should turn into a whole hate campaign. And I feel like with Nella, that's what happened, unfortunately. She had newspaper she had newspapers writing really derogatory things about her. She had people on TV saying stuff about her. I remember, I can't remember what season of Love Island, when that white girl, Faye, spent a whole night or two effing and blinding and shouting in people's faces, screaming at her black boyfriend in his face, F you, in his face. We didn't see a hate campaign. We didn't see people saying all this rubbish about her. People were cool with that. But because it's a black girl.
Yeah, but that's why? That's how it changed. Because when we were growing up and there weren't any black people on TV, and most of the characters in these TV shows were white, then it was the same thing and they were in those positions. It's just when they've now allowed other ethnicities to get involved, everyone's changed their direction of their hate.
I hear that, but when I compare it, even though Nella's outburst to Fred wasn't nowhere near as rude, as aggressive as Faye's outburst to Teddy on Love Island, Faye didn't get all this hate from all the Facebook mums and stuff like that. She didn't get that much hate. People complained to Ofcom, yeah. But she didn't have newspapers, journalists on TV talking about her like that. No one was coming for how she looks, her character, nothing like that. And so when people are talking about, you lot like to bring race to every conversation, I'm just like, you're so ignorant. How? Of course we're going to bring race to every situation because you've shown us that we have to bring race to every situation. You don't treat us the same. So if we bring that to your attention, don't gaslight us and tell us we bring race to every conversation. It's not about race. Clearly it is, because if you saw someone else that wasn't black behave like that, you wouldn't have this same reaction. You've had this reaction because, yes, she was rude, but also she's black. That's why you've gone this far. I don't get why people don't understand that. I don't get it. I wish you could have seen some of the comments that I saw in that week after that Fred incident.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. Like, from the moment that she got on that show, I knew what it was gonna be, and nothing changed that course, unfortunately. And I know what the UK public are like. When they don't like someone, it's a real nasty place. And I've seen it with white people in the past, but obviously that's not the norm now, because, you know what I mean? It's not the norm anymore. But yeah, man, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And everybody goes into these shows trying to get a different outcome. But realistically, the only outcome can either be you keep yourself small and you go through the motions, or you go hard and then you suffer whatever the consequence will be, because there's always going to be some kind of consequence if you go hard. And I think it was just unfortunate that going hard for Nella looks like that, if you know what I mean, as opposed to looks like something else. Because you can be a big personality and not necessarily be a from ends type of character, but that is who she is. So that's just how it worked out.
Okay, so that is the end of the show. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. there was so much more that could be said, but we're going to leave it right there. It'll be interesting to hear your opinions on the whole Nella Rose and I'm a Celebrity fiasco. If you watched it or you saw it or had any feelings about it, let us know in the comments. As usual, if you enjoyed the show, please like the episode. Also, if you're new here, subscribe if you made it this far. And if you're listening on the audio platforms, please give us a 4 to 5 star rating. And you can leave a comment as well on Spotify. Don't forget to check out our playlist. It has been your home slice, Dami Zayn, and my co-host
Venom in the building.
And this is the Unpicked Podcast Show. Until next time, peace.